I have some notes like the last time we did this. So if this is your first time checking out these deck profiles, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because we're going to be going over the winning tournament deck profiles. And if you're trying to participate in some Godzilla card game action, there's also a link in the description for the community, the unofficial, I'll say, Discord for the game, where they have tournaments every Sunday. Okay, and there's prizes. Like, this community's OD. Okay, so let's ding the community. All right, let's ding all the fine folks that are participating, organizing, just being awesome. Right. So Ian, of course, our resident red winner. I represent the Reds because I like playing red in this game. I'm gonna read what his notes, his little notes that I asked for, just to make sure that I was getting all the points for me to come across. Of course, yeah, put in that time in there. 6 p.m. CDT. So all right, here we go. So Ian says, so this is the most recent iteration of Red Rage. This deck presents an immediate invasion threat that can end the game on turn 3. That's scary, but I feel like I know why, but let me finish. All right. Failing that, it can also pivot into a brutal countering strategy that uses Godzilla, King of the Monsters, I'd imagine, to convert rage into counter power. And I definitely know he meant King of the Monsters, which is this guy right here, this beautiful baby over here. All right. This staple of a card that I'm sure even in the next set will be very viable and usable. And there's a reason why they made this a white card, because for those that are new, white cards can go into any color. So by the time set 2 drops, you got white cards in green, red, and blue decks. Okay. So big shout outs to King of the Monsters. So this is, again, back to Ian's words. Me and Paul, shout outs to his boy Paul, have been refining this list over the past few weeks. You draw so many cards and cycle through your deck extremely quick. You can see half the deck by turn 4 if you really want to, which is amazing. That's very impressive. Which also means you can usually find what you need. So this is a 2-for-1 special tournament winning deck review because it was the same deck from the previous week. I already mentioned that prior. And here's the funny part. Here's a side note. Here's where I come in, right? I literally told Ian, all right, yo, win next week, so I don't have to go through 2 different decks. Go bet. And he won. So shout outs. Shout outs to that. That was actually kind of fire. Okay, so we're rocking. I'm very familiar with this one. We got the Godzilla 1954 with that 5,000 threat. And this one is good, especially now. This is me speaking off of. I'm gonna do my own little seasoning on this deck profile. I mean, that's the point of this, right? Not only to just go over what they were thinking, but to kind of give you guys my perspective and my thoughts on the overall profile. I already know this profile is fire. I just looking at it from a glance, like the fact that I see 34 monster cards. Okay. Sexy. Okay, that's awesome. 8 battle cards, 8 strategies, and the battle cards, literally half of them are like the staples that you would probably want in every build possible. And then you have our reliable boy Varan for that extra draw power and ability as well. Okay, just to kind of go over the battle cards. I might as well just go over all of them. So I already went over Varan. For those that don't know, Awakening 6, enter, draw 2, discard 2. Very good utility right there. We have Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla, 2 copies of that bad boy, even though it's like 2 boys on there, you know what I'm saying? But Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla with the 10k counter power. This one, of course, the crazy part about this is that unless you assist your opponent getting to 7 fast, this will come out as soon as they get there. Because the way this deck works, you're going to be raging so much that your discard pile is going to be loaded with monster cards. Okay, so you need 7 or fewer monsters, or you can't. I'm sorry, you need 7. You need 8. Let me just put it that way. You need 8 monster cards in your discard pile for this to even come out. Because then, when your monster invades, and if there's nothing underneath him, you may place 1 monster card from your discard pile underneath this to set your opponent's rage to 0. So another great staple utilization, because if you're trying to neutralize them trying to rage against you, it's not happening. Okay, so we have 2 copies of that. We have 2 copies of Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like Ian mentioned in his notes, that for every rage that you have, this card gains 3,000 counter power. Okay, so if you have like a lot of rage, Ian, this is actually a fun side note question. I know Ian's in chat right now. How many rage cards do you actually have in your rage deck? Because I just added 3 more just for the funsies. Usually I think it was like around 6 that I had, but I can imagine a deck like this, you probably need a lot of rage cards. All right, that's just my guess. And it was so funny. Other side note, I was playing with my fiance the other night, and I raged so much that I literally took from her pile. I took from her pile just so I could showcase all the rage that I had for that turn. Of course, I put it back after, like, you know, it was my turn again, but I thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, so if your monster has 3 or more rage, this card, as long as it's in zones 1 to 5, can't be destroyed by your opponent's effects, which is super helpful. And also, for those that didn't realize this, when it comes down to Godzilla King of the Monsters, is that at 8, when you're in zone 8, it gains an awakening 8 that allows you to play it early. You know, you get to play this card with its rank reduced by 4. So if your opponent's trying to move slow, but you're trying to really speed things up, having this out there is kind of crazy. So I can imagine this deck, I'm not gonna lie, it seems so focused, because the fact that this game already has a very strong built-in draw power, where you draw up to 5 if you play all your cards by the end of your turn, and then, you know, of course you get to draw 1, or you draw based on your opponent's monster rank. Like, you have so much draw power. So realistically, you're pretty much searching for this and for this, you know, because otherwise you're pretty much drawing into strats. Like right here, let's go into the strats. Good transition, right? So Godzilla landing, I already know, advance your opponent's monster by 1. So again, like I mentioned, if they're trying to move slow, nah, let's get to it. Godzilla landing, land that ass here, boy. Put that shit ahead. 1 zone, please. Great to have. Ginza annihilated. Oh my god. This is also great because, again, we're raging so many times that you're just gonna clear the board. Whenever your monster's rage is increased, destroy one of your opponent's rank 6 or lower battle cards. If they have anything 6 or lower, they're gonna start crying. They should just call this Ginza Tears. You feel me? Jesus. 1 copy. 2 copies of Space Beam. If your monster card has 2 or more rage, your opponent discards cards until they have 2 cards remaining in their hand. Why did I forget about Space Beam? Holy shit. Okay, I thought Gravity Beam was crazy. It kind of is still, not gonna lie. But Space Beam, this is free. What? This is essentially free. Why is it free? Why are you saying it's free? Uji, you gotta have rage. Dude, you're running 30-something monster cards. You're gonna have rage. You're gonna have rage. Aight? You're gonna be good to go. This is a deck profile, Chrono. This is what we're doing right now. So technically, you want 19 rage cards if my math is right. Wow. So yeah, there you go, guys. Ian said it right there. So you might need a side deck of just 20 rage cards for a deck like this, just to be on the safe side, which I find fucking godlike and very fascinating, very amazing. So good on Ian. Also, Ian said in chat, you start the turn with 5 cards in hand, draw 4 cards when your opponent is at rank 4. So that's 9. Let's say we heat ray charge twice. Now that's 13, because that's draw 2 each time. Yup. And if you use the rank 4 Best Goji, you can gain 6 more, 1 from playing it, and 5 from its effect, milling monsters off the top of your deck. Wow. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's actually really cool. Next up, we have the heat ray charge, like we were just mentioning. That was a great transition. I chose the best time to read that comment too. Draw 2 cards, 2 copies of that. Excellent. And then 2 copies of Final Showdown. So this is basically like the better version of Heat Ray if you're gonna try to speed run, especially if you're an 8 already. You just pop this, destroy all battle cards on both players' side of the field. Boom, game. This is a game winner right there. Now we can go into the main monster cards. I was already talking about this one. So like I mentioned, this is the kind of deck where you're raging so much, why not get a bonus rage? So at the beginning of your counter phase, send the top card of your deck to the discard pile, and if it is a monster, increase this card's rage by 1. So it's like, this deck, I feel like is gonna stay really strong because of the fact that it is so hyper focused on defending itself. Rage, even though Rage seems and it comes off very aggressive, in this game, Rage is essentially your defense. When you Rage, you are increasing your threat level, which therefore helps you survive a turn. Because every turn, you have the potential of getting repelled, countered, pushed back. You don't want that. You want to keep moving along that Candyland board. You feel me? You want to get to that zone 8 so that way you can just lock it down, win, move on to the next opponent. Done. Right? Claim your title as world champion king of the monsters, okay? So this one right here, Godzilla 2023, excellent card. These first 2 monster cards I actually use in my deck as well. So when invading, you search your deck for up to 1 rank 3 card named Godzilla 2023 with Burst. Add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And, for those that didn't know, if you invade twice, you get to do that twice. Which means, well, let me explain. If you do a 2-step, right? You're invading once, invading twice. That effect triggers twice. Got it? Cool. And here's the, let me see. Here's a Godzilla 2023. 4 copies. Here's a Godzilla 2023. 4 copies. Here's another Godzilla 2023. 4 copies. So we have 12 copies. So that's beautiful. That's super synergetic. Love it. All right, let's check it out. My man's gonna be a Godzilla TCG champ in the making. Listen, I got my 1 tournament win at the very beginning of when this game came out, and I got my first. I was one of the first official King of the Monsters. I'll hold that. I'll hold that. I don't care if it was a small tournament. I'll hold that. I was one of the first ones. Okay, but anyway, I'm ass now. I'll get cooked. Anyway, yeah, no. Oh, don't worry, because stay tuned, because after this we're gonna try to make it work, so that way we're gonna play a game after I get done with this deck profile. We're almost there. We have a Godzilla 1974. So this is a rank 3. On your opponent's turn, at the beginning of the counter phase, destroy all your opponent's rank 5 or lower battle cards in the same column as this card. That's actually really sick. Now that I look at this, because I actually don't play this one, and if I do run it, it's probably just in my main deck. Actually, no, I don't think I have this at all. Like, I know I own the card, but I don't even use it. This is actually really good. So this means that basically every time it's your opponent's turn, at the beginning of their counter phase, destroy all your opponent's rank 5 or lower battle cards in the same column as this card. This card is very control-y, and how is that control-y? Well, think about it. By the time it's their counter phase, they're trying to push you back. They can't have anything in that zone, in that column. Because if they do, it gets popped as long as it's rank 5 or lower. So it's not like completely broken, but still, like that shoots like the Mothras, the Batras, all those 5 and lower guys. They're gonna get cooked. Really nice, really nice. All right, and finally this guy. Oof. This one I actually would like to revisit. I actually took this one out of my monster deck, and I run it in my main deck, but I never get a chance to actually like play it. It ends up being used as Rage all the time. But again, for those that don't know why this is so strong, whenever this card's Rage is increased, destroy all of your opponent's battle cards in the same column as this card. So potentially, like, on your turn, you could just increase Rage, destroy someone. Invade, destroy someone else. You know, after, you know, you increase a Rage, or, you know, again, like, that's very, very cool. So it almost acts like this one, because I know this is the one I use specifically, because I like how it just enters and it pops the whole column right then and there. So moving on, so on your opponent's turn, similar to the last one that we just went over, at the beginning of the counter phase, if this card has 3 or more Rage, destroy all your opponent's battle cards in the same column as this card, and it doesn't matter what rank they are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 100, doesn't matter. They're gonna get destroyed. This Godzilla's pissed. Look at him destroying the entire freaking area right there. Okay, now that's the main monster deck. Now all of these guys right here, okay, the fact that we even have the Fest, okay, this is actually really cool to have, because when this card advances into the same column as your opponent's monster card, advance your opponent's monster card by 1 zone. Why this is good is simple. This is a good card to stack on top of your rank 1 monster if you're going second. I definitely would think, because you want to see where they're at, and then once that advance happens, then you get to trigger the rest of it, which advances your opponent's card by 1 zone. And then when that happens, that means you get to play things a little bit faster as well. And I imagine This is a burst 1, so this can go from 1 to up to a 2 for the turn. When invading, send the top card of your deck to your discard pile. The monster destroy one of your rank 5 or lower. Always good to have some destruction. This is a rank 3 god. Oh wow, okay, so nice. I just realized, so we're only running 4 copies of this Fest Godzilla as a rank 1, and then we're running 4 copies of rank 2. So the rest of the deck is primarily focused on rank 3s and rank 4s. I think that's really cool. Yeah, man, I feel like you really fine tweaked this. Like, I would argue say perfectly, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the crazy part is I could probably make a version of this, but I don't think I have all the copies. Like, I have 2 copies of these guys, these big bad boys over here. Like, I have the majority of this build, but there's some that I probably don't have. So again, if I did make this, it wouldn't be a complete copy paste. It would definitely be like my own take on it, just because I don't have all the necessary copies that would make you know, good use of these guys. But yeah, anyways, let's get back to this. So whenever this card's rage is increased, send the top card of your deck to the discard pile. If it's a monster card, destroy one of your opponent's rank 6 or lower battle cards. So we have a lot of good utilization and tools to make to really keep their board as clean as possible, which is actually kind of insane. And the funny part is that you don't really have to worry about them popping your battle cards, because you're really not going to ever play battle cards. And whenever you do, it's literally going to be Varon. And if Varon gets popped, oh well, you did your job, bro. Thanks for coming. Get, you know, into that dugout, aka the discard pile, you know what I'm saying? And then like the really heavy hitters, like, dude, if you're, oh my god, I don't even want to math it right now, but just do 3,000 times like 6. That's 18k threat. Like, nah, that's a lot. Like, you could literally do pushbacks with this and this, and you're chilling. I can understand. I can see why. Like, it's super focused. You get to clear their board so that they have a harder time trying to repel you, counter you, and you're just out here just hanging out. So this is a burst 2 from so when invading, and if it has 2 or more rage, destroy one of your opponent's rank 6 or lower battle cards. So we have a lot of destruction implementation in this deck. I do like that a lot. We don't need low level battle cards when we're going. That's true, exactly. This one, if this card has 2 or more rage, it gains 5,000 extra threat level, which is basically like a free rage, which is nice. This one, I know, destroys one of your opponent's rank 4 lower battle cards on its enter. So that's a nice little burst effect if you're just trying to pop one of their smaller cards. I find this one, from my own playing experience, is good the sooner you get to playing it, because the earlier the turns, I would say, the higher of a chance that you'll actually see a rank 4 to pop. Otherwise, when it's late game, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of rank 4s. I guess it depends on, obviously, like how your opponent's deck is built or whatever. We just play the hits on the top end. Exactly, yeah. Now this one, 1954, burst 3. When this reaches zone 8, destroy all battle cards in each player's zones. That's sick. It's actually sick. So literally, like, if you wanted to, you could literally just invade from 7 or 6, destroy everybody, and then just threat like a madman. Or, I'm sorry, not threat, like rage like a madman, so they cannot counter you. And all you have to do is just play this Final Showdown game. Thanks for coming. And that's it. Be done with it. Right? This Fest Godzilla right here is OD. Enter on your turn, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and send them to your discard pile. For each monster card revealed this way, increase this card's rage by 1. If a card with 2-step is revealed this way, this card advances to 6. So I like this one a lot when and if you ever do get repelled from 8. Because when you get repelled from 8 and you're a rank 4 and you have this in your hand, you play the shit out of that, first of all. And you get the trigger and you're like, oh, look, there's a 2-step. Let me go right back to 6, which is actually like a really like big leap, because then you can then do a manual invasion at that point. Those that, you know, were wondering if you're going to ask that. This one I already mentioned before. Once you drop this on the enter, destroy all your opponent's battle cards in the same column as this card. Love that. And that's pretty much it. And that's it. So let's give it up to Ian. The Red Monstrous Rage number 3. A beautiful deck, really do love it, and I hope that I don't get completely obliterated, but I guess we're gonna see how this works right now, because we're gonna actually play ourselves a game. So stay tuned, let's get it.